Scrappy People, it's Traci Reed here today with day 3 of December Daily, and today I'm telling the companion story about our Christmas tree with this fun Christmas tree shaped cutout for my album. So you can see I have two different pictures of the Christmas tree. This is the before, and the other side is Finn holding ornaments, and then the right hand side here is the after. So what ended up happening is Finn and we were a little bit meh about the Christmas tree. Actually, I was. And that goes off the story about the teenagers decorating it that I did yesterday. But then Finn and I, on a whim, ended up binge watching the entire season, which is only 4 episodes, of that Mr. Christmas show on Netflix, and I was a little bit obsessed and inspired to redo our Christmas tree after watching that show. So Finn and I went shopping for new ornaments and basically undecorated and then redecorated the tree. And I wanted to tell this story with a big tree cutout. I often like to include tree-shaped cutout large photos in my December Daily. I think I've done it before. And I'm going to stick these before and after die cuts that I cut on my silhouette directly down onto this Versamark pad, and then I'm going to emboss them with gold, and I'm going to do that with a couple different things here. So I'm getting out the glitter, which is appropriate because if you watch the show, you'll know that the man dumped entire piles of glitter on these people's stairs, and I lost my mind thinking about all of the glitter that you're going to have to clean up after that. So I dumped out glitter on my crafting table, and now I'm embossing these gold. And in order to get these photos cut out in a Christmas tree shape, I, of course, used my silhouette. It's my most used tool in crafting, but, you know, this is a fairly easy shape. You could just print out a large photo and then use your ruler to draw some triangles stacked up on top of each other and go to town cutting it by hand. It's super easy, but I like to use my silhouette because I'm also I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and so any mess ups in the hand cutting would drive me nuts. Also, I want them to stick to each other back to back, so they had to be perfectly the same in order to do that. In order to do that on my silhouette, I just reversed the image to cut it out the opposite side in my silhouette software on that other Christmas tree and the journaling. So there we go. We've got these embossed now. I'm going to adhere them to the front and the back of these Christmas trees. There's nothing really wrong with the before. It's just the same Christmas tree that we've been doing for like 5 years because I've just not bothered to buy new ornaments, or decorating the Christmas tree really just isn't my thing. I let the kids do it. We do it the day after Thanksgiving. It's kind of a family tradition, but the reason that it's a family tradition in that way is just because it's never really been like high priority for me, other than I like having it done and glowing in the corner of the room. So this year's a little different. Now I am going to, while I was talking, I had adhered the other photo and the journaling to the other sides of these, and I'm actually going to leave them fairly simple. I'm going to leave the journaling alone because it takes up the whole page, but I want to fill up that little white space in that photo down at the bottom, and then I have this little circular embellishment that I made in one of my Advent videos, and it says Santa's Workshop Little Helper, which I thought was appropriate for a picture of Finn's hands. Those are some of the ornaments that we picked out for the tree this year. And then finally, I'm going to bring in this page that I created in one of my Advent videos, and I'm going to add in a few smaller photos of the process in these empty spaces. So I have these photos cut out in a loose triangle, and most of them are decorations that we bought this year, and then one is Finn in Target masked up and buying decorations. It was a big deal because Finn has severe asthma, and so we don't let him out of the house. We don't let him out of the house right now, so getting to go to Target to buy Christmas ornaments, not only Target, we went to Target, Joann, and Michael's, was a big deal. He was very excited, so we made a big thing out of it. So I have a photo of him. It just wasn't a great photo, so I decided to leave it small and instead make the photo of his hands holding those ornaments a bit bigger, because I really liked the way that that looked instead. So I'm just using liquid glue around the outside edges to glue these down, and then I will glue down the front piece as well. And so I have another one of these pieces cut out for the back side, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the back of this yet. I'm debating just adhering something to the back of it and calling it good, like a white piece of paper. I would do that anyway, except for the fact that some of those windows are vellum, so they're a little bit see-through, and so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But that is a problem for another day. I'm just going to finish the front of this, and I'm actually going to decorate it too, because I actually feel like adding a few things onto the front of this made it a little less wild and drew your attention to the fact that there were photos in it and not just papers, because it is a little bit, there's a lot going on here. And you know I love a good pattern paper, so that doesn't bother me, but I do want to draw attention to the fact that there are photos in here and things to look at besides just a big wall of patterned paper. So I'm going to use a couple more of these circles. I'm getting a lot of use out of these circles that I made. I'm going to add a couple more to the front here. One, it just says joy, and the other one says don't get your tinsel in a tangle, which I thought was appropriate. Even though it sounds like a, you know, you're grumpy sentiment, it actually, we bought tinsel for the tree and then put a few pieces on and decided immediately to take it back off. So I just thought it was an appropriate little shout out to that. So that page is done. Yep, so I'm going to put it all back in the album and call it good. Oh, this is where I go, okay, I need something to turn this page. This is really bothering me because they don't leave a huge footprint, so it's kind of hard to see that there are a few different pieces. So what I'm going to do is I punched out a couple stars with my star punch, and I'm going to emboss them with gold just like I did with the before and after. I thought about it afterwards, and I thought maybe it would look good if I had left them white too. The only thing that I was worried about was that if I had left them white, they would have sort of blended in to the white around the outside edges of those triangles. So I embossed both sides, and I'm just going to tuck it right here under this before and staple it in, and then I'm going to do the same with the other side. My tiny attacher, and I'm going to call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you should follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I'm doing a daily Advent video over there as well, where I make pages like that triangle one in the background, as well as those circle little bits and pieces too. So yeah, follow me over there. And I will see you back here again tomorrow. Thank you!